Hi, come on in. Oh, come on, it's safe. Come on in. Welcome. It's good to see you back again. If you're new here, my name is Connie, and you have just entered Connie's little corner. I have a very unusual video for you today. This is a combination of a TEMU order that I never got to record before Christmas. It's a combination then of my holiday spending Christmas Eve with mom and how we wrapped up that day with this beautiful neighborhood full of lights that I drove her through. It's just so much to show you. Hang on a second. Okay. Fighting off one of those sneezes again. So here's the scoop. I had done an order completely of jewelry, and all the jewelry in it was for mom for Christmas gifts. Well, somehow I got sidetracked and I didn't get it recorded. I did other things and I was busy planning for her being with me yesterday, or well, actually today. No, it is yesterday because it's after midnight. The 24th just ended and it's the early wee hours of the 25th. I haven't been to bed yet. So technically yesterday on Christmas Eve, mom and I spent the entire day together. I picked her up 9:30, quarter to 10, somewhere around there, and didn't bring her back to her group residence until almost 7 at night. I didn't want to overwhelm her. I was also very overwhelmed with the events of the day. So let's start with the TEMU order. For those of you that are new to TEMU, right here, this code, EFC 95851. If you search that code and you download the app, which you'll find the link below, TEMU will give you a coupon bundle worth $100 and 30% off your first order. If it's easy for you, look at this. Just scan this big thing with your phone. You can pause the video if you need to hold it up there longer. It'll do the same thing. It'll take you right to where you need to go. All right? I'm all about ease. So you have a bag to pull up. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to pull up pictures for you because mom decided she wanted to be part of one of my videos. Sorry about that. Another interruption I had to put a stop to. So here is mom presenting her Christmas items. And these are what I would have presented to you in the TEMU video. So the first thing we have is this cute little adorable pair of snowflakes. Yes, it's in her ears, so that you can see the size of them and how they are perfect for someone of her age. I will put another picture here somewhere, probably over here, so you should actually see what they look like on the website. But she loved them. She insisted on putting them on immediately. She wore them all day, and she was planning on wearing them with her outfit on Christmas Day. So take that as a compliment. Mom also got 2 rings, and here you'll see on one hand, you'll see a ring that says Mom, and it's in rose gold, and another ring that just has a purple stone in it. So here's her doing the little hand thing, which I find absolutely adorable. She wanted to do that. But also above here are the pictures. Now, you're not going to see the prices of these things above simply because I'm going to be adding in so many pictures. But if you look down below, you will find the links to all these items and their prices. Okay? She just had so much fun doing this. I couldn't tell her no. All right. The next thing is, did I do them on? Yes. Okay. So I showed you the pictures of both of her rings, and they fit her perfectly. So I will say TEMU's rings are true to size. It's just a good thing I know her size. The next one she got, the expression on her face, and I'll try to put up a picture of it if I can. They are little pearl earrings, little pearl with top and bottom little crystals in them. And of course, she was oohing and eyeing because she's like me. She's all about the bling. But there's those. She also got a pair of pearl drop earrings. Now, at first, I thought these were going to be a little too big for her, but no. They're absolutely the perfect size for her. And of course, she loved them. She loved the combination of the bling and the pearl, and she's always liked either or both. The next thing you're going to see is these really cool silver earrings with the rings with, and she and I both initially thought that this was just one solid ring made to look like separate rings, but it isn't. These are all individual rings that you see attached to the top, to the main part. I just, yeah, she had fun just shaking them and looking at them. And oh, yeah, she giggled like a kid in a candy store, but it was her Christmas with me, so why not? Then, of course, her favorite pair, and I think you did see these because I got these in a separate haul, and I might have shown them to you. But she about bolted out of the chair when she saw these. She is a purple person. Purple is her favorite color. And if you know anything about mom, there's two things you need to know that's very important. Her favorite color and her favorite snack. And later on this video, you will find out exactly what her favorite snack is. I have to tell you, for the past decade or so, when I really got more involved in taking care of her, and she needed that attention, she used to say to me, "Yes, mother, okay, mother." Well, she was referring to me as the mom, and I was okay with that. I was okay that the tables had turned. So I do refer to her as my daughter, or as my child, or as my little one, all the time. I'll call her kiddo, and she just lets. But the terms of endearment that go on between mother and daughter that no one else can share, it just doesn't work with anybody else. You know what I mean? All right. So needless to say, she absolutely adored those purple earrings. And the next pair we got, she actually remembered, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but she actually remembered picking out these pair of earrings and the next pair you're going to see. These earrings are black with crystal, and they're kind of like a diamond, an overlaid diamond shape. You may have remembered in one of the videos I had gotten a larger pair of black and crystal earrings for me. She fell in love with those. She wanted a pair for herself, but she knew what I had was too big. She actually picked these out when we went scrolling through TEMU. And of course, as things would have it, she forgot. So when she opened them, when she saw them right off the bat, her reaction was, "Oh." And I will put a picture of the reaction because you have got to see this reaction. But then she told me that she remembered. She remembered picking these out, and she told me that she remembered the ones that I had gotten, that she actually remembered that whole scenario now that she thought back on it. Pretty cool, huh? Same thing with this next pair. This next pair is the black and the crystal earrings, but these are more of a teardrop shape. She remembered these as well. And that was very cool. That seeing things will trigger memories. And that's very common in an elder person or a person that has dementia, whatever, any kind of memory issues. Trigger objects or certain sounds, certain smells, certain things, activities will trigger memories. And in this case, it just simply triggered her remembering that she liked them and she picked them out. Okay, what do we have left? Okay, so that was the extent of the jewelry. Now she did receive the shawl, and you'll see the pictures of her trying to figure out how do I get into this thing, and then putting it on and just totally like vegging in her shawl. This shawl I had presented to you in a previous video, but here's a picture of it again. And then I had set it aside for mom because it was way too small for anybody over a size 10. So I'm going to give you a heads up on that right now. If you wear a size 10, this shawl will not fit you. This is for petite or kids. It fit mom perfectly. She's about a size 8 or so, but she's tiny. She's only like 5'1". It fit her to a T. Again, she was really happy with that. She wanted to set that aside so she could wear it on Christmas Day, today, when she goes out for her next big holiday adventure. So, part of what I'm showing you here, and I didn't preface it in the beginning, but there were all sorts of other gifts that she received. Well, a couple of other gifts that she received. But the expressions on her face were priceless. And I kind of doing a compilation here so that you can see just how reactive and how much joy she gets out of the simplest things. This from Timu of all things. Go figure. So the first one was when I handed her a package, and she's like, oh, "For me? Do I get to open this?" And then, of course, a couple of other packages came along, and then again with the expressions like she couldn't believe this was her stuff. It's like, wow, what do you mean there's more? She got a new pair of slacks, and I showed them to you in the previous haul. They're just black leggings that have very colorful musical notes down the side. I'll put a picture up here for you so you can see it. But she loved them, and I happen to have mine on. I still do, as a matter of fact. I'm still dressed. The only thing is, I took off my hair, put on a hat, and said, "Well, my hair piece." And I put on a hat because it is late and I'm tired. Um, so her new pants, she absolutely loved them, and she was getting teary-eyed, and it was actually making me feel good and bad at the same time. I didn't want her to cry, but I knew they were happy tears. So she decided she was going to wear those pants today, Christmas Day, when she went out to celebrate the holiday with other members of the family. Very cool. Right. So she was really happy with that. Um, so there's a couple of pics of her looking at those. And then, of course, again, she's shocked when I'm giving her more. Um, I don't want to forget anything on here. At the end of giving her all her gifts, she was just like, what? She was lit up. She is my Christmas tree. She was just literally glowing from being so happy. And if you look at her pictures, you would never think you're looking at a 94-year-old woman, someone who's actually 94 and two-thirds age. That's how she likes to count things. She's back to being a kid where you count things in weeks, days, months, quarters. So she is, 94 and two-thirds old, and she didn't look it, and she didn't act it. And as our day proceeded, and now we're going to move beyond the Timu stuff because, yes, there was Timu gifts in that. But as the day proceeded, I want to share with you just how blessed this time with Mom was. And I'm going to get emotional. I'm going to try not to. Yesterday, Christmas Eve with Mom. Hold on. Okay, I'm good. Christmas Eve with Mom was truly a miracle. Anyone, if you've ever dealt with anyone who has dementia, then you know that maybe long-term memories are still there. Short-term memories are pretty much non-existent. They will ask you the same thing over and over and over again, even if you just told it to them 30 seconds ago, because they don't remember any short-term. They don't remember what's happening in the now, and they don't comprehend things the way they used to. They don't think in advance. They're not able to actively carry on conversations because they have to stop and try to understand what everybody's saying and try to understand what they need to say and figure out what they want to say because their recall is non-existent. So that shouldn't be unfamiliar to you if you have a person with dementia in your family. Yesterday, Mom's dementia did not exist. It's literally like the veil of dementia had been lifted off of her. All right, get a grip, girl. Because she was able to freely communicate. She had comprehension, full thoughts, clarity of thought. She knew exactly where she was when she was in my home. She didn't have to guess, you know, where's the bathroom or how do I get to the kitchen? She remembered the dogs' names without hesitation. We walked, I had brought the dogs with me to pick her up. And when we got back in the house and she's coming in the front door, of course, the dogs are there to help her in. She looks down at the dogs and goes, Levi, get out of the way. Sadie, move over. I'm thinking, no, she remembered their names. This went on all day long. Everything was like my mom was 20 years ago. And I mean everything. Carrying on a conversation with her, me answering a question and her not asking it again. Because I'm always ready for her to ask it again. She didn't ask it again. She would ask me very well thought out and comprehensive questions. And what we did for the rest of the day, I'm going to share with you because that wasn't my Christmas miracle. I'm sorry. I'm a basket case when it comes to my daughter. But I'm also a basket case because I feel that she was truly blessed with having a day without dementia. And I was blessed being able to be a part of that. So, before I cry me a river, in this song. All right. We did a lot of singing yesterday too. But I have finally started to some degree pulling out some things that I had packed in storage since 3.5 years since we moved to Arizona. So the top of my dining room table is covered in cut glass and antique crystalware and all sorts of things that are anywhere from 60 to 90 years old. These are beyond vintage, all right? These are true collectibles, true antiques. They've been in our family since my grandmother. My grandmother's on both sides, my mom's and my dad's mothers. So as you can imagine, with my mom being 94 and her having this in her home as a child, that tells you how old these things are. So she was very observant yesterday. Another part of the miracle. She happened to glance around the room and she spotted the crystal. And it's like, oh, what's that? Is that my dish? Excuse me? Mind blown. Oops, hat off. Pay no attention to the woman beneath her hat. Literally, blew my mind because she didn't just say, what's that? She asked if that was her costume. So I told her, yes, it was. When we started going through every single piece, she wanted to see more and more. Oh, I remember this. Oh, I used to put cranberry sauce in this in the table of Christmas. Oh, I used to put scallions in this. And every single piece. Now, you got to remember, she hasn't had a family dinner in over 30 years. Every single piece. She remembered what she used it for, when she used it, what holiday, and where it came from. Was it my dad's mom? Was it her mom? Was it something that she and dad had accumulated during the course of the marriage? She remembered everything. Then she locked in on what was always her favorite piece. And here's a picture. This piece of cranberry glass is as old as I am. That's old. Mint condition, not a crack, not a scratch. Look at her face. It says it all. She's like practically hugging this dish. She used to put peanut butter. What were they? Pink candies filled with peanut butter. I think they called them peanut butter pillows. You remember those? They're about an inch big, and they had like that, almost like a ribbon candy on the outside of it, but it was pink. And on the inside was the creamiest peanut butter ever. Mom remembered that, and she said to me, "Do you have any pillows to put in this?" So I told her, no, but if I can find them, the next time I go to pick her up next weekend, I'll make sure there's pillows in that dish and I'll put it out on the table. Freaking believable. But look at the look on her face. She just, She just couldn't get over it. So Mom and I have always had a tradition, and ever since we were living living separately, but both of us being single, we would get together over the holiday, and at least the week before, the week of, or maybe Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, we would always watch her favorite movie, and it was my favorite movie too, White Christmas. Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye. All right. Yeah, that I gave her the remote to the TV, and I told her to put her finger on the button. I said, "Tell the TV what you want to watch," and she did. And she's like, "Oh, on the screen, here it comes, right there." And there's her sitting in her recliner, mesmerized by this movie. She didn't move. She did not move. Normally, she's at her group residence. She's sitting in the recliner there with a Sudoku book in her hand. She didn't bring her Sudoku book with her yesterday. But she didn't ask for one, and she didn't touch mine. That movie, she was in it like Flint. She was singing the songs, and the ones she didn't remember, I would sing them, and she was clapping and applauding. But that movie, very, very special to both of us. So having movie time, yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. I cheat sheet down here because I don't want to forget anything. I know I'm an emotional wreck, right? You probably didn't want to see a video about my mother, but you know what? This is my channel. And this is my Christmas blessing. Y'all shared your pictures with me about what is in your home at Christmas. This was my Christmas. Then, of course, we have to have snack time, which I didn't tell you before, but preface this. Before the movie was lunchtime, and I made her one of her favorites, which I always do when she's here. And yesterday it happened to be chicken and dumplings with her recipe. Yeah, she had two bowls full. She's already poor. Let her eat what she wants to eat, right? I don't worry about it. As long as she eats and it's basically healthy food, it's not like I'm giving her any weird combinations of stuff or stuff that has liquor or whatever in it. I'm giving her the food she grew up on. I'm giving her the food she taught me to cook. So yeah, she loved her chicken and dumplings. Two bowls full. So anyway, after the movie, she wanted a snack. Okay, no problem. I had pulled out peanut butter because I was going to make homemade biscuits for the dogs. She looked at that jar of peanut butter. She says, "Can I have a spoon?" Here's the result. Cuter than that. To watch someone her age licking on a spoonful of peanut butter. I let her take as much as she wanted. I told her she could have one spoonful. She could dip once. Look at what she did. She was going for it, and she did. And I let her. What the heck, It just made her so happy, and it did my heart good to see her that happy over a spoonful of peanut butter. When's the last time you had a spoonful of peanut butter? I never do that. I never think to do that. But my old mom was back. That's what she wanted to do. Anyone who really, 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 really knows mom knows that anything peanut butter is her favorite snack, even if it's on a spoon. She's good with that. Last time she was here, we made peanut butter cookies. Enough said, right? So when she saw the stuff sitting out, she's like, "What are you doing?" And I told her, "I'm going to make peanut butter cookies for the dogs." She looks right at me. She goes, "We're going to make peanut butter cookies for the dogs." Okay, Mom. Sometimes Mom is still Mom. And if Mom decides she's going to put her foot down about something, I step aside and let her put her foot down. So we proceeded. I did the hard mixing of all the ingredients and that kind of stuff because it is kind of hard when something's really stiff and doughy. And I didn't want to press her out. She doesn't have the strength in her arms that she used to. So I made the mix. I handed her the mold. I handed her the spoon. And she went at it. Look at this. This is the mold that I got from TEMU. Puppy Dog Prince. And I will put a picture of the mold up here for you in case that's something that you're interested in. So she started filling the mold, and then I was working on the other mold with the little tiny, tiny bones and basically filling it with my finger because they're so small. But I didn't want Mom licking her fingers. There's steel oats and weird things in here that are good for the dogs, but would not have been good for her digestive health. So she worked diligently. And I got a little clip for you. Look at this little clip. You would never, never know. As I said, no sign of dementia yesterday. She is on task. She's focused. She is filling that mold. We put it into the oven. I let her help me put it into the oven. She was walking into the other room, and we gave her an oven mitt to put on. And it goes. She was very, very careful. And I watched her every second, too, let me tell you. But she loved it. She closed the door. She goes, okay, what temperature are we cooking this at? 350, 375? Seriously. Dementia? Not then. And then she wanted to know how long we're cooking it for. 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, she had to set the timer. I showed her what buttons to push. She had to set the timer. She set the timer. They came out, when they came out of the oven, I pulled them out. And I showed her the finished product. But I told her she had to wait because we need to let them cool before the dogs can have it. She was so proud of herself. And you can see it in the little video and in the pictures of her being allowed to do that, or just not even allowed, but just saying, here, okay, do this. And trusting her to do it and knowing that she was able to do it, dementia or not, she was able to do that. So that really, really, I smiled all day long. And so did she. And the dogs really smiled when they all was said and done, and the tools that I had used to mix those ingredients, I grabbed them and I was getting ready to put them in the sink, and she's like, "Oh, okay, you can lick them, Mom." Not only is she licking the spatula that I used to level up the measurements from it just had peanut butter on it, but it didn't have the other ingredients, which is okay. So I used the long spatula, the silicone knife, of course, to level things off, and then the little measuring cup for how many that I needed of peanut butter. So here she is, licking the spatula, holding that cup up, waiting for its turn to lick it. Let me tell you, she did as good a job as the dogs would have done. There was nothing left on either of those items. Yes, I did. I did have to wash them, obviously. So anyway, our day was full, as you can imagine. Getting her to the house, starting with the presents, going over all those pieces of crystals, which took us a long time, having lunch, watching our favorite movie, her having a snack, making the doggy biscuits. After the doggy biscuits were done, it was almost time for dinner. It was about 4:30. I asked her what she wanted. She wanted grilled cheese, which is her favorite, favorite, favorite quick meal. And you know what? It's good for her. It's full of protein. It's perfectly healthy for her, especially at her age. She should have dairy. Obviously, not a lot of dairy like you or I might consume, but she should have dairy because it is very healthy and very good for her. So I made her a double cheese, grilled cheese. One was not enough. Okay, Mom, you can have another one. I wasn't worried about I didn't think she'd eat the whole thing. Yeah, she ate two. She ate two. And then she decided she wanted to help me tidy up and empty the dishwasher and put things in the dishwasher. You know, you go for it. When your mom is that engaged and that active, on her feet, standing to do things without having to hold on to her walker, standing, supporting herself. In other words, strengthening her back muscles and strengthening her leg muscles. And yeah, just, I had to watch her a couple of times, make sure she didn't go too far from her walker, but Mom was back. It's wonderful. So on the way home, there's a neighborhood not too far from her group residence. And even from a distance, you can see the lights. It just lights up the sky. So I surprised her and I pulled into that neighborhood. And what you're about to see, but keep in mind, these were all photos taken through the window of the car. It was cold out. I did not put down her window. So you might see part of her head or part of her face in the pictures or part of her hands. Because she was like a kid, like right there in the window. I didn't get a picture of her face, but I did get pictures of all these beautiful homes and these beautiful decorations. This is just one neighborhood. So I want you to enjoy, sit back, relax, watch all the pictures, and then I'll be back. Wow, right? I wish I could have videotaped it, but as a courtesy to the owners of those homes, I did not want to do any videotaping without getting permission. And of course, I wasn't going to go house to house to get permission. So lots of pictures, lots of blinking lights, such a mixture of things I have never seen in Christmas decor, but it was wonderful. Mom was happy as a kid. She couldn't have been any happier. On the rest of the way home, she asked, can we call her best friend back in New York? And I'm not going to say the friend's name simply because I don't have permission to do so. But you know who you are. Okay, Mom, if that's what you want to do, again, clarity of thought. So while we're in the car, I brought up the number, called it, and her friend on the other end, of course, not expecting to ever get a call from Mom. What is this? And Mom's like, quote unquote, it's Angel, you idiot. I about died. I cannot tell you how much I burst out laughing when she said that. Well, She carried on a normal conversation. She was asking questions, answering questions, talking about this, that. There was no hesitation in her trying to figure out what to say, how to say it, or how to carry on a clear and active conversation. And then she started asking Mom, well, who was at this party? This woman holds a party every Christmas Eve. Who was at the party? So Mom started naming names. And Mom says, well, tell everybody I said hello. So her friend says, well, I'll put you on speakerphone. You say hello. And she's like, go ahead. So Mom's like, hello, everybody. It's Angel. Oh, my word. You would have thought there was a concert on the other end with the response that came through that phone. It literally unbelievable excitement from these people to hear Mom's voice. I'm going to get emotional again. So we finished that call. And then she said, can we contact your cousin? Because I have a cousin who moved from Connecticut and lives here, oh gosh, maybe 10 minutes from my house. And she said, I'd like to see her. I haven't seen her in a lot of years. You know what? Yes, absolutely. Yes. So, guys, that's my Christmas miracle. I don't know if today, when Mom got up, because it is Christmas morning, so it's 12:45 in the morning. The sun hasn't come up yet. But I don't know if when she gets up this morning, if she's going to remember anything about it. But I remember this. Damn it. Sorry. This video will give her a chance to relive the memory in case she doesn't. But it will definitely give me the chance to remember. Merry Christmas, guys. Love the ones you got. Stay safe. Do whatever it takes to be happy. Remember to say hi to me. The more I cry, the more I need to drink. That's a lot of drinking, lately. Above all else, please stay sweet. I'll catch you again in a couple of days.